in any bridal bouquet you've seen me make. But we are going to prep really quickly, and we're going to talk, chit chat a little bit as I am prepping. So this bridal bouquet is going to have all roses, greenery, baby's breath, and brooches. Just something that's a little different than I normally do. I am going to prep my baby's breath. It's always easier, I find, if you will kind of cut everything and have them ready for you to just pick up. Now, if you've watched me design, you know I don't always do that. But this makes it a little bit easier when you begin to put everything together. Today, we are live on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. So when you come on, please tell me hello. Tell me how you're doing today. Tell us where you're from. We'd love to know that. Victoria is here with me. So y'all talk to me. Ask me questions. And we will just chat a little bit while we are prepping and getting this bouquet made.
Sorry, I'm a little slow.
No, you're good. You are good. It's been one of those days where we've been doing a little of this and a little of that. We've been doing a lot of filming, trying to get ready for me to be out for a few weeks. So we've been doing a lot of videos today. And so Victoria, bless her, she has had to be the tech lady. The tech lady today while I was doing all my videos. I am not the greatest with all the cameras. Now I can do the phone and I can do a live, but when it comes to getting the cameras ready to do a YouTube video, I'm not so great with all that.
You have lots of hellos.
Hello everybody. Hello, I hope you are doing well.
Kelly Hatler says, watching you while I take a break from my walk visiting downtown Chattanooga. Hello, ladies. Sarah says hello.
Hello, Sarah. Hey, sweet Sarah. How are you?
Dennis says it's a hot day in Houston.
Is it a hot day? It has rained almost all day long here in Mississippi. I mean, it has rained and rained and rained. We've had thunder and lightning and rain and rain and rain.
Rhea and Julie says hello.
Hello, ladies. Hello.
Dawn Miller asks how you're doing today.
We're great, Miss Dawn. We are doing well.
Miss Patty's watching from Kansas City, Missouri, and Valerie is watching from Northern Ireland.
Hello, friends. So glad y'all are here. Thank you for watching.
Miss Cheryl is watching from Columbia, Mississippi.
Columbia, Mississippi. Hello, neighbor. How are you?
Kathy Shaw says it's good to see all today. Just got back from visiting with the grandkids for a few days.
I bet that was wonderful. Is it not the most fun to go visit your babies?
Miss Catherine says that's a pretty shirt you got on.
Why, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Kelly says that Sarah says I'm good.
Good. I'm so glad, Sarah. Thank you for watching. All right, so I cut up some eucalyptus, some baby's breath, and now we're going to take a little bit of Italian ruscus and I'm going to cut it into smaller pieces.
Miss Kathy is watching from Ohio. She says it's a rainy day. Oh, hi, Miss Kathy. She said, hey, Victoria. She says, God bless you. This is so beautiful. Already take care.
Oh, thank you, sweet friend. So glad you're here with us.
Miss Judy Roeder asks, she says hello from Indy.
Hello, Miss Judy.
Why are you going to be gone?
I am going to have surgery next week, and so we are trying to prep. We will be closed the week of the 4th of July, and I will probably be in and out the next week. But we are trying to get prepared for being closed for the week of July, the 4th of July, and then for my little surgery. And I say it's a little surgery, and my mama always says it is not a little surgery. But, yes, I just want to have y'all some videos so y'all don't miss me too much. So I'm taking and trimming up a little bit of this Italian ruscus because I don't need all of those lower leaves. So I'm just trimming that up.
Brenda Stewart says hello. She says it's a perfect day in Charlotte, North Carolina. Very mild. Wind is blowing, and it feels like a nice spring day, not 90 degrees like yesterday.
Ooh, that is perfect. Is there nothing nicer than a perfect spring day? Spring and fall, those are the perfect time of the year. Summer gets a little hot.
Flowers by Lisa says they're having bad thunderstorms. They just got home from her shop. She says, today's my Friday, taking a much needed vacation with my husband.
Ooh, fantastic, friend. Where are y'all headed for your little vacation?
Rhea says it's very hot in the UK right now. She says it's going to be 88 degrees Fahrenheit later in the week.
Woo, that is warm, Rhea. Okay, got our Italian ruscus ready. Got our, this is called Silver Dollar Eucalyptus, and then our lovely baby's breath. Next, we are going to come in with our roses. So, the roses that we have, I don't even know the variety of this white. It's not a playa. I don't know this variety. It's just a large white rose. I don't know the variety. So, I am going to take, I'm sorry about that. I'll have to go look. But I am going to take and remove the leaves from our roses, and I am going to pull off any petals that don't look pretty. Now, when you are working with focal flowers, the flowers that are going to be in someone's bouquet, you want to make sure you have all the prettiest petals. You don't want to leave ugly petals on. I know that sounds silly, but you don't want ugly petals left. Anything that's bumped or bruised, you want to go ahead and remove. So I am taking and just prepping these flowers. Now, most of the time, if I am designing with these roses, I like to leave as much of that pretty greenery on as possible. But because these are going to be in a bouquet, those leaves are going to be in my way. So I just pulled off those leaves. I'm turning that rose over, and I'm swirling it back and rolling it back and forth in my hands. And what that's doing is kind of opening up those petals for that bouquet.
Is there any way we can scoot?
Need me to scoot?
Just the table a little bit more towards
Back?
you. I'm trying to see. Just a little.
Is that better?
The camera's cut off a little short on YouTube, but I figured, I didn't know if with you doing a bridal bouquet, if most of your designing would be up here.
Yeah,
your
probably
designing's
so.
not going to be on the table. Is
No, it won't. I'm just laying everything on the table, but I'll hold it in my hands as I design. So I'm flipping that rose upside down, and I'm just rolling it back and forth in my hands, and that's kind of opening up some of those petals. Now they are going to be out of the cooler for the wedding day, and so they will naturally open up, but it's kind of nice to kind of blow those a little bit.
On YouTube, Donnie says, hello, have you ever made a pocket boutonniere?
I have made a pocket boutonniere. I probably have made one for our YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and look at some of our videos, I'm pretty positive that I have made one for our YouTube channel. If not, I need to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure I have.
Amanda on YouTube says, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy that I caught you live and can't wait to see what you create.
Hello, Amanda. So glad you're here, friend. Thank you for watching. These are pink Mondale roses. So a pink Mondale. So Mondales come in white and pink. I love a Mondale rose. It's a very hardy rose. And it holds up beautifully. It will open really pretty also. But these have not been left out of their cooler, so they have not opened up. But it's not a big deal, they will. I'm taking and removing all of that greenery. Now, I don't love to use white Mondale roses in bridal work because they come off really green. I wanted them to be more of a true white, so we used a truer white variety. But I did use the pale pink Mondale for this bridal bouquet.
Loretta Green says, hello from Houston, Texas. I love watching your videos. My car registered 106 degrees when I got out of work today here in Houston.
Yes, that is hot. That is so hot. Be careful, friend.
Miss Becky Burke says, happy I finally get to see a live presentation. Hello
Yay!
from Ohio.
Hello, friend. So glad you're here.
Donnie Thomas says, thank you for answering the question.
Of course. Thank you for asking questions.
Dewey Quinn says, hey sweetie, how are you? Also, Dewey, yes, I think she's just laying out her flowers right now, but she will be designing the bouquet in her hand. So we should be able to see.
Yes, I'm
bit
going
better.
to hold that bouquet in my hand so you will see it all. I'm just laying everything out on this table. All I'm doing is prepping right now. And it doesn't usually take too terribly long, but it makes it so much easier to design your flowers. Oops. Let me pull off some of the guard petals. If you have them all prepared on the table.
She asks, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How about you, friend? I am wonderful.
Emmanuel says, good night from France.
Good night, friend. Good night. Good night. Thank you for being here.
Salita 1300, thank you for the follow on TikTok.
Thank you, friend. So glad you're here.
Joyce asks, when is this wedding?
Saturday. So if you have been watching any of our videos lately, you have seen me work with a lot of pink and white faux flowers. So I usually do not use faux flowers for the flowers to wear and to carry. Usually we do fresh for those bouquets. And so we are actually working on the bride's bouquet. Callie worked on the bridesmaids today, which were really very, very similar to what we're going to do with this, except they did not have the brooches that we're going to use in this bouquet.
Miss Judy Roeder says she's praying for a smooth surgery and a speedy recovery.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you.
Crystal Evans says, I just got home from work and I'm a floral designer too.
Awesome, friend. Awesome. Tell us where you're located. Where do you design? Are you like me when you get home, you plop down on the couch and watch TikTok? That is what I do. It's a terrible habit. I've got to quit watching so much TikTok.
Miss Sue says, hello, very pretty blouse. Always love the arrangements and I learned so much from you.
Thank you, sweet friend. I'm so glad you're here.
Mary Holbrook, she has Florals by M. She has a question. How does a new designer working out of her home stock her inventory when she needs some stock on hand but not to overbuy?
So that's so tough. Because you are going to pay more for your flowers than I do, and it's strictly because I can buy in bulk. You're just going to have to buy either from your local wholesaler, or I don't know if you've ever checked out Flower Buyer. It is a company that you order online, and you can bid on your flowers, or you can order a fill the box. And when you order it to fill the box, you can order different bundles of different types of flowers. Now they can FedEx those, or how we've got it set up is they will put that box on a truck that comes to our local wholesaler. But when you fill the box, you are actually able to pick and choose what flowers you want. Like if you need one bundle of snapdragons and 2 bundles of daisies and a bundle of roses, you can fill your box. And I think you can do even a half box. I have never done it that way. When you bid on Flower Buyer, you get excessive amounts of flowers. So it's good for a wedding or for Valentine's Day. But being a smaller florist, you're better off filling the box. But check them out. Go and see what you think about them. See what their prices are. Again, I have never done it that way. But check it out and see how their prices are. Now, I order directly from a company called Budsy. And Budsy is a farm direct company where you are buying all of your flowers farm direct. So they never go through the wholesaler. I'm just buying them directly from the farm. And I have been so pleased. But I have to buy in bulk. So when I buy roses, I have to buy 100 stems of roses. When I buy daisies, I buy 14 bundles of daisies. Now, the wonderful part is they last a really long time because they're cut very quickly and come directly to me. So I'm bypassing the wholesaler. I hope that helps, friend.
Yaki on TikTok asks, what's the website's name?
The website that I was just talking about is called flowerbuyer.com. And you can, you'll probably have to register your business there. But you can buy flowers by the bundle.
Pretty Petals Floral Design asks, what variety of roses are you using?
That's what I need to run in the cooler and see what these white roses are. I don't know, did we open them all up? Give me 2 seconds, let me run and check that white rose. If it's not on these boxes, I will look on my website and let you know.
Thank you, Miss Brenda, for letting us know. Let me see, Donnie over on YouTube, Miss Brenda just let me know that if you can't find our Pocket Square video on YouTube, we should have it on a live. Well, if it's not deleted by now, but it should be on a live on Facebook as well.
That they would open. I'll have to look on my invoice online, but I can let you know. Did she ask that question on Facebook? Or did she ask that question? Facebook. Okay, I'll let you know. I'm not sure the white rose variety. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to start designing our roses. Now, let me say, most of the time you will see me make a bouquet, and I really probably should. I usually make it in an armature. Today we're just going to do a traditional hand-tied bouquet. So I'm going to take my roses and I am just going to gather them in my hand. I'm just going to hold them in my hand and slowly add roses in my hand. Now you're going to see me take my snips and cut off some of those stems because they get in my way. But I am just going to slowly gather them and add baby's breath and greenery as I go.
You're welcome, Donnie. Glad to help. Miss Barbara Bagwell over on Facebook says, I delivered my first wedding bouquets, corsages, boutonnieres, and arrangements yesterday. I was so nervous, but she loved all of it.
Oh, what a wonderful thing. I am so happy for you. Congratulations.
Miss Cheryl says she's so excited to see this wedding coming together. It's going to be beautiful. She says, got you guys live again today.
Yay, Miss Cheryl. So glad you're here. So you can see how I just took that's 4 stems of roses and then I ringed it with some baby's breath, and I'm going to take some more roses and just add them in slowly.
Camly Aldridge says, I have my niece watching today, 6 years old, and loves to help me make floral arrangements.
Hello, sweet girl. So glad you're here.
Crystal, who's another floral designer, she says, I can't get home and get on TikTok fast enough.
I'm so glad you're here.
Marie Jose says, hello girls, got you live tonight. It is 10 p.m. in the UK. She says, my flowers I had for my birthday yesterday are wilting since it's so hot here. Aww. At the moment, Monty, you look so serious, concentrating on the job in hand.
I'm thinking. Okay, so you can see I'm just kind of gathering them together, just kind of going around and around, adding those flowers all the way around.
Gray asks for prayers as he is about to have his 5th colonoscopy test.
We will certainly pray, Gray. Goodness me.
Miss Mary Holbrook, who asked about the flowers out of the home and inventory and stock.
Yes.
She says, thank you so much. Best information yet. It really helps.
Oh, you are so welcome, friend. You are so welcome. So, y'all, I'm going to add a little bit of greenery as I go, just so that we have a little bit of greenery kind of throughout. So, this is just that silver dollar eucalyptus, and you can see I'm kind of just turning and going all the way around.
Pretty Petals Floral Design asks, how many roses will you be using?
I don't even know. I didn't even count. I should, but I didn't. I'll let you know in just a minute.
Shelby Townsend says, I finally got you live. Hello from South Georgia.
Hello, Shelby. Glad you're here.
Bernice Stroll says, hi there. Did you wire the roses?
I did not wire the roses. I did not. Now, you will know that I wire most of them. Okay, so I'm going just around and around. Most of the time I wire roses, but I usually don't wire them for a bridal bouquet because they're all so snug and tightly gathered together. So I usually do not wire them for a bouquet.
I feel like too, it's not since you're just using it for the day.
Yeah,
whereas,
and it's usually pretty. You're tying them so tightly together.
Miss Margaret Lynch is watching us over on YouTube as well.
Hello, Miss Margaret. How are you, sweet friend?
Robin Williams says, I finally got to watch you live. Yay!
Yay, Robin. So glad you're here.
Over on TikTok, Passiflora Creations asks, what is our live schedule?
So on on Facebook, we really are way more scheduled than we are over on YouTube and TikTok. We've done better on YouTube though. I mean on TikTok because we have gone live. Have we been live every day over on TikTok? So that was wonderful. Usually on Facebook, we go live every single day, just like this. We go live in the 3 o'clock hour every single day. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we try very hard to pull in TikTok and YouTube at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But we're doing better with TikTok, where we're trying to do our live video on TikTok as well as Facebook in the 3 o'clock hour. So we're not really set in stone on our time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we go live at 4 on all of the platforms. Is that right?
Yes, and that is Central Standard Time.
Thank you.
In the US of A.
In the US of A. Thank you, Victoria.
You're welcome. Rhea says this is going to be so pretty.
Thanks, Rhea.
Andrew Valeri says it's beautiful arrangements.
Thank you, thank you.
April says, watching live today while I make a funeral piece.
Aw, I'm so glad you're here, April. Thank you for watching.
Chris Fry says, I wish Facebook kept all the videos. I referred to a lot of those.
Oh, I know, and I'm trying to do better over on YouTube. I'm trying to, when I have a video that I know people would like to go back and reference, I'm trying to do better at putting those over on YouTube. We're going to do better. We're getting it slowly but surely. It makes me sad that Facebook deletes them, but I can understand that that's a lot of videos that they're saving.
Robin says it's 98 degrees where
98 degrees. It is so warm.
Brenda says it's 5:25 p.m. here in North Carolina right now. So they're an hour
Behind us, right? We're an hour ahead. We're 4:25.
So we're an hour behind them. If she's
they're
5,
ahead, we're behind. You're right. I'm like, oh, I don't even know. I apologize for being special.
No.
I'm a little special. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm just adding a little baby's breath. So the picture showed lots of baby's breath, so you can see that I just kind of fed that baby's breath down between those roses and putting a little baby's breath in between those roses.
Rhea says it's 10:26 p.m. in the UK right now.
So it's so bedtime, Rhea. You stay up late every night just to watch me.
Penny's Petals asks, what is the name of the white and pink roses?
Okay, so the white, I have to look at my invoice because I cannot remember. I ran in the cooler just a moment ago to see if I had that variety, and we took those sleeves off so that we could get those roses to open up. Not sure the name of the white, but I will post that for you. The pink is Mondal. Pink Mondal roses are the pink variety.
Chris Fry says, you have done great. You just had a ton stored on there.
I know. It makes me sad, though, because that was years of work. We have actually been doing these lives since February of 21. We started out on Facebook, and then slowly but surely we have moved to all the different platforms.
He says he still refers to our YouTube and TikTok.
Awesome. I am so glad. I am working on, I think that the fact that YouTube saves them all is really nice. And so we've done a lot on YouTube, but we still have a lot to go.
Kathy Phelps says, Amani, you make it look so easy. It's beautiful.
Thank you, friend. Thank you.
Irene over on TikTok asks, where did you get your shirt? I love it.
Shein, where I buy all my clothes. It actually came in yesterday. And I had to wash it and put it on.
Crystal Evans says, I know as a floral designer I shouldn't say this, but I do not like baby's breath.
I agree. I tell you, it's not that the look. I don't have a problem with the look of baby's breath. Baby's breath is just not easy to work with. Is my main complaint. Is that it's not the easiest material to work with.
Christie's Floral asks, how many roses are you going to use?
Christy, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know. I was just gonna make it look how it needed to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's only 17 roses, and I really have the money to be able to do 24 roses plus my brooches. But you know, it's always one of those things where you just kind of look at it and make sure.
Miss Margaret Lynch says she's been with us since then.
Have you, Miss Margaret? You've been with us since we started. Isn't that amazing?
Pam Ellis also says, I've been watching since you began, and I look forward to watching each day.
I'm so glad you're here, Miss Pam.
Crystal says, it's hard to work with, and it smells like cat tinkle.
Yeah, it does. It does. Sometimes. It doesn't always. Like this really doesn't have a terrible odor. But I tell you what's worse is Caspia is worse than baby's breath in its smell. And I just wrinkled my nose like I was smelling it.
Cynthia Lee says, hello, Monty and Victoria. This is my first time catching you on Facebook. I love the bouquet and enjoy watching you design. I've learned so much from you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for being here, friend.
Twisted Petals Florist says, I used your tip to count and pull flowers per arrangement, and yes, ma'am, it does manage money and design. She says, I'm still learning from your kind spirit.
Oh, I'm so thankful.
Crystal says, you're right about that. About that Caspia.
That Caspia is awful. But here's the trick with Caspia, just in case y'all didn't know this trick. If you will take Caspia when you're processing it, of course it needs to go in its own bucket. I got my hand hurting. Are we going dark over there? Sorry, YouTube. Sorry. If you will take and put, this is crazy, it's going to sound crazy, Dawn dish liquid in the water, or I have even heard fabric softener. Isn't that what one of our followers said? To put fabric softener in the water when you've processed them. And that is going to take that awful smell of Caspia away. Isn't that the craziest thing? But I know Dawn dishwashing liquid works because we always keep dishwashing liquid up here. But somebody said that fabric softener would work too.
On TikTok, Hannah from the Flower Company is watching us. She said that we came on her TikTok For You page.
Well, look at there.
Thanks, Hannah. Sweet. The Magnolia Tree asks, how much was this bouquet?
I believe that I got $250 for this bridal bouquet, but we are going to add brooches to it.
Over on YouTube, Robin Williams asks if you remember the name of the site on YouTube where you can watch lives that work on faux flowers. Do you know?
On YouTube, it's over on TikTok. I don't know about lives on faux flowers. I don't know.
Maybe it is your the TikTok.
Is it TikTok,
page that
the
you
lady
watch.
that I watch? It is called World of Faux over on TikTok. And then there's another one, and she is out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and I do not know her name, so I'll have to go and look her up to give you that one. Okay, so there's our roses. Next, we're going to come in with a little bit of greenery. We're going to add some more greenery, and then we are going to add our brooches.
Chris asks, do you ever use wax instead of baby's breath?
This particular bride wanted baby's breath, so that's my reasoning behind using baby's breath. I'm never going to use baby's breath unless it's been specifically ordered, because I just don't prefer working with it. If I were going to work with something, I would have chosen wax all day, because wax just is so pretty. It is so pretty. But with baby's breath, I will certainly use it because the bride wants it, and that's who's important. It's not about me. And the only reason I don't like it is just strictly because it's hard to work with.
On YouTube as well, Plattsburgh Flower Market asks, do you know the variety of baby's breath? Do you have a preferred variety?
I like the larger variety. I don't like the Million Star as much as I like, I don't even know the name of this variety. I'll look that up too. I am not useful to y'all today because I don't know the varieties of all these flowers. I like the larger bloom baby's breath better than I do the Million Star. To me, it just shows up better.
Lily asks the price of this bouquet.
$2.50, I believe.
Loretta Green asks, how big is the typical bride's bouquet?
Just depends. It really just depends on the bride. Some brides want an all-round bouquet. Some brides want a dripping bouquet. It's really, really completely up to the bride and to the pictures that she shows. So for me, I like to work from a picture. I want you to show me a picture of what you have in mind. Before I get started, I'm going to go grab a large vase so that we can tuck those brooches in here. But yeah, I usually like for the bride to send me a picture. I have a hard time visualizing what they want without a picture. And so I often will ask them to please text or email me a picture so that we are on the same page. And so that's exactly what we're going off with this bouquet. Now, this bouquet does have greenery, and her bouquet that she chose did not. And so I just asked her if it would be okay if we added greenery, and she said, Monty, you know what you're doing, just make it beautiful. And so that's my reasoning behind putting greenery, is because I just think greenery really makes a difference. It just makes for a really pretty arrangement, in my personal opinion, and she was happy with that. I'm going to grab a vase real quick and drop this down in there so we can add our brooches.
MP on YouTube, I'm working on getting you that link real fast for those knives. I should be getting it very soon, so worry not, I will get that. Let's see. Thank you, Betty Lou, for sharing our live video on TikTok.
Okay, so I just grabbed a large vase and I added a little bit of water. I am just taking these snits and trimming up these stems, and I will do a better job when I'm finished. Might give them a little more. Okay. Okay, so I have our bouquet tucked down into this container. Now, Callie took and added wires to all of these brooches. These are just rhinestone brooches. And she was not picky. We just ordered some brooches off of Amazon, and they just have a gold backing, and they just have rhinestones. So Callie added wire and added just a little pick so that it was easy for us to tuck these down in there. So I'm just going to take this pick and I am going to press that brooch right down into this bouquet. The nice part about them being on wire is that we are able to manipulate them and make them look where we need them to look in this bouquet.
Crystal says she'll definitely let the guys that process our flowers know the trick with Caspia. Thank you.
Yes, it really, really makes a difference. It really makes a difference.
Pauline Kamaski says, I've also watched from the beginning. You're my inspiration to start making faux wreaths and flower arrangements.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here, sweet friend. Thank you for watching.
Twisted Petals Flores says, I put all my baby's breath in Caspia in a container with Listerine. That tip came from a floral design show on Netflix.
Listerine, wow, never even thought.
Miss Bernice says, that's so pretty, feminine, and pleasing. Is it true that baby's breath smells like cat's
It does. It is true that baby's breath doesn't smell lovely.
She says, I never noticed, and I pride myself with very good smell sense.
Well, it's probably because you have not ever worked with a large amount. Usually, a small amount in a bouquet is not going to be overwhelmingly stinky. But if you get a whole bucket of baby's breath, it's stinky. It doesn't smell nice. So I'm just taking these brooches and I am just pressing that stem right down into this bouquet. So Callie put them on little wires and I am just taking them and just working those wood picks right down into that bouquet.
April says, I also do not like working with baby's breath, but I have found I like Million Star better.
Really, I just don't love the look of Million Star as much. Now, it's easier to work with probably, but I don't love its look. It doesn't give us that lush look that the Standard does. And so I think that's the reason I like the Standard is I just like the look of it better if I have to use it.
Melissa, I'm so excited to meet you too. I'm so excited you're here.
So you guys, we have got a special guest going to be here tomorrow. Melissa Flores from Oklahoma City is here to meet us. She actually just drove in from the coast and she went to the beach this week with her sweet husband. So I'm going to dinner with Melissa and her sweet husband. So we are so excited.
They're saying it's so beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
Ria says it's beautiful. The eucalyptus color really works with the pinks and whites.
Ooh, I think so too, Ria. I think that eucalyptus really is pretty.
Antwerp03 says, I'm loving your blouse. It's very pretty.
Thank you, friend. Thank you, thank you.
The Magnolia Tree says, I have a wedding this weekend, peonies ranunculus, and asks, what are your tips with ranunculus and peonies? Do you wire your ranunculus?
Depends on where they're going. In bridal work, yeah, you probably want to wire them because they are just so delicate. They are such a delicate flower that I really like to wire them personally. Now, do you have to? Absolutely not. But with wedding work, I like to wire them.
They're saying, Nancy says she caught us live.
Thank you, Nancy. So glad you're here, sweet friend.
Dorothy says, I used to add pieces of baby's breath to my Christmas tree.
Ooh, I think that would be pretty because it would kind of give you an antique look, kind of, you know. I think adding baby's breath to your Christmas tree would really be nice. I've never done that before, but I do think it would be pretty.
Pretty Petals Floral Design says, I missed it. What did you tie the bouquet off with?
I haven't tied it off yet, so you hadn't missed it. You have not missed it, my friend.
Ria says Dusty Miller would look lovely too, but obviously the faux variety.
Yes, the only problem with Dusty Miller is it will wilt. Wilt. And that is nary no fun.
Linda Sue says, this is beautiful. I have a friend that made her daughter's bouquet from all family brooches.
Oh, I think that would be so amazing. And again, these are just Amazon. Amazon brooches. There's nothing fancy about these brooches. They're just Amazon. Okay, so I got them in place. I'm going to pull this bouquet out. And I don't know if you can see it very well.
It is pretty.
But those are those brooches tucked in. Now what we're going to do is to tie this bouquet off, I am going to clear my table.
Lily says that is gorgeous, and I don't even prefer round bouquets.
Isn't it funny how we can? I am the world's worst to say, there's nothing could be prettier than this bouquet, and then I make the next one, and I'm like, this might be the prettiest one I've ever made. Which is good. It's good to like what you do, right? But yeah, that's why I like the greenery, because I don't want it to look like an ice cream cone.
The Magnolia Tree says she's sorry she was with a customer, not sure if you answered her question about the peonies and ranunculus.
Peonies, the ranunculus I would wire because they're delicate. Peonies, peonies you don't have to worry about. They just need to be tucked in there tight. So what I'm doing here is, this is hard because my stems they're really thick. So I'm just taking this waterproof tape and I'm coming around and around those stems.
Miss Cheryl from Michigan says, what a beautiful bouquet. How are you doing today? I'm sure you're busy getting ready for this wedding. I'm excited to see the pictures when you're done. She says to have a great weekend, and she's sending prayers for a speedy recovery and for your mom and dad.
Thank you, sweet friend. Thank you, thank you.
She also wishes that the three of y'all have a nice time together while you're healing.
Thank you. Okay. So there's our bouquet. I am going to come a little tighter with this tape because I feel like it's not quite as tight as I want it to be.
Miss Pam Ellis says, I haven't heard of adding brooches in a bride's bouquet. Is this a new trend?
This was a picture that she liked. So anytime we make, I don't think that this is a trend. I think this is just something that she picked off of Pinterest and she thought was beautiful. And so that's always fun to do things that aren't so much something that I've ever done. So I have added brooches before. We did several years ago. Gosh, I don't even know how many years ago. I went to the coast and I helped my sweet friend Donna. Her niece got married. And we put brooches on the cake, on the bride's cake. And it was beautiful. Okay, so there's our brooches tucked in. I have taped the stems with just a waterproof tape. I throw it on the floor. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to add ribbon to our stems.
Sue Bryant wants to know how many brooches you used.
I don't even know, Sue. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 or 17. I purchased them off of Amazon. They weren't terribly expensive. And I have more back there, so I can certainly add more, and I probably will. We just didn't want to wire too many. They were very reasonable on Amazon. So I will probably tuck some more in just because I think the bling is pretty. And the bouquet that she chose had tons of them in there, so we will probably put more in. I am going to take a champagne colored ribbon.
Miss Margaret Lynch wants to know if they could see the brooches up close in the
Absolutely.
bouquet.
I'll bring it closer to you. And I'll take a picture, Miss Margaret, so that you can see it up close, and I'll post it.
Maria says, I remember in the 80s and 90s where the bouquets were huge teardrop shaped bouquets.
And they are terrible to make. I don't know if you ever had to make one, but they are hard to make. Okay, I'm going to take my stems, and I just have some ribbon. This is kind of a champagne colored ribbon. I'm going to take it, and I am just going to wrap that tape. I don't want the tape to show. Now, I don't wrap my bouquets all the way down because I need those stems to be in water. So I'm just taking and wrapping those stems with that ribbon. And what I'm going to do is fold that ribbon over. I just folded it to give it a clean edge. I'm going to pull some of those wood picks out. But I just folded it over to give it a clean edge. And then I have some corsage pins. which are just the pearl-headed pins, and I am going to press that pin right into that ribbon, and I'm pushing up toward the head of the flowers, toward the top. You always want to push that pin up toward the top because I don't want it to stick out the bottom and get her hand. So you want to just pin it up toward the flowers. And there is our bouquet. And we will add more brooches tomorrow so that we have plenty of brooches.
Joyce Ratley says, "Hi, sweet lady. Just finished my home infusion. Good for 4 more weeks. Thank God for a wonderful nurse that comes to my house for 8 hours every 3 weeks. Hope you are having a great day and your arrangements are always beautiful."
Oh, that is such a blessing that you get to do that at home. I am so thankful that you are finished for 3 weeks. I hope that that went well and that you feel good, sweet friend.
The Magnolia Tree, I think Florals by Judy, by Jag Judy. I think she also wants to see the brooches more up close.
Okay. Where are they? Which camera?
Both TikTok and Facebook. I wanted to see it.
Facebook.
I'm sure
there is. YouTube.
Yeah, but it's kind of blurry.
Is it blurry? And there is TikTok. And of course, we're going to add some more brooches, so it'll have more in there.
The Magnolia Tree asks, "How do you wire ranunculus?"
A ranunculus has a hollow stem. So I usually will take a wire and run it into that hollow stem all the way up to the flower, push it up through the flower and do a little U-hook or a little fish hook and pull it right back down. And then it's stuck in there. It's going to help give that stem the stability that it needs. Those stems are hollow, and so they want to break really easy, or they just don't want to hold that little head, especially when you get them in a bouquet and you have to clamp them all together. So that's why I like the wire. Thank you for the hearts over on Facebook, guys. Thank you for those hearts.
Melissa says those are vintage gorgeous.
Aren't they pretty? They're not, I mean, they were really inexpensive. I'll go grab that box so that you can see. From Amazon, they were very inexpensive, and they came with different shapes and sizes.
Kathy, thank you for sharing our live video on TikTok. Thank you so much.
They came in this little pink box. It says "Your Present."
They're loving it. They're saying it's beautiful, and they love the brooches.
It came just in a little package, just like that. And so I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have 19 left. We will probably just put those right in, because why not? If you have them, put them in there, right? And so we will probably just wire these and put them in. I think it probably came, if that's 19, it probably came with 48 brooches. But I think they're pretty. I mean, they're not expensive by any means, but they're kind of sparkly and pretty.
Florals by Jack Judy said, when you showed the brooches in the bouquet, she says, "I'll be dagnabbed."
I'll be dagnabbed, right? They're pretty. They look nice.
Cynthia says, "Thank you for the close-up view."
And I tell you what I should do is I should pin one of those or a couple of those brooches right there to that ribbon too, because that would be pretty, wouldn't it?
Joyce Ratley says, "Wow, I have not seen the brooches before, but I love them. I am a fool for bling."
I know, bling is fun, isn't it? It's just kind of fun and different. And again, the picture that she showed had lots of brooches in it, so why not? Her colors are, I want to say, a mint green, a soft pink, and a gold, and a champagne color. So all those colors really work well. Mint green is always a hard one because, of course, there's no natural mint green flower. But I really think the eucalyptus pulls a little bit of that mint, which really looks pretty with that soft pink.
Dawn Miller asks, "How did you wire the jewelry? How did you wire
Miss Dawn, Callie took a wire and she put corsage tape on the wire. So she taped the wire, and then she took and wrapped it right around where it's pinned. So she came all the way around. It's got a little opening right up underneath where that pin is attached, and she kind of went around and twisted it. Using that corsage tape helped to keep it to grip. And then she added wood picks on the bottom so that they would feed right down into the flowers very easily.
I bet you could do a reel showing how to do that.
I will do a reel showing how to do that. Thanks, Victoria. That is so smart. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Lily asks, can you show us the bridesmaids bouquets?
The bridesmaids bouquets are exactly this bouquet, except they don't have the brooches. And they're much smaller. So they're $75 bouquets. So they are a smaller bouquet.
Maria says the mothers of the bride and groom could wear a brooch each with their corsages.
That would be so smart. I really should add them. We've got them, right? I think that would be perfect.
Mary Beth Raymond says, sorry, I've been in and out. I'm sure you're doing the bridesmaids bouquets as well. Is that right?
I do have one left. We had 10 bridesmaids, 10 of them, and I have one bridesmaids left. So I will do that probably tomorrow. And then we also need to do some garland. We're going to do a fresh garland, fresh greenery garland that we're going to add faux flowers to. And that's going to go on some of the posts so that it looks like the post has a garland of greenery and flowers, which is really made out of cages that are attached to that post. And then we're going to run some garland down on the floor.
Thank you, Hilly, for sharing our live video.
Thank you for sharing. Guys, do me a great big favor. If you have enjoyed this video and feel like you have learned something, hit that thumbs up or that heart. And if you'll hit that share button, it would be fantastic. It's just a free and simple way to support our little flower shop.
2 more questions.
Yes.
Melissa wants to know if you want them to come up here and meet you at the shop.
You absolutely can. Jason's over at the house and we will meet. Yes, come on. Come on, sister.
They're saying it sounds like a big wedding.
It is. It has been. This has been one of our bigger weddings we've had this season. We haven't had a bigger one, so it's really been fun. It's been a lot different than weddings that I've done in the past, and it's strictly because I'm doing 90% of this wedding in faux rental flowers, which is really exciting for our little flower shop. So our little flower shop, I can work with fresh. And I have always done fresh weddings, but I feel like I don't get tons of weddings. We have lots of flower shops in our town, and so there's lots of people to choose from. I decided back a year or 2 ago that we would start adding faux flower rentals for weddings into our business plan, and so that's what we've been doing. This is our largest faux flower rental that we've ever had, so we are so thrilled and so excited to see how it all comes together. We did a huge mantelpiece a couple of weeks ago. We've done 2 post basically with fresh greenery and faux flowers. We've got the piece for the cake, lots and lots of pretty stuff. We've got 2 floral walls that we've rented that we will set up tomorrow. So we're really excited to do a video and show you how it all turns out.
Dawn Miller says, please take pictures.
I will, I promise, Miss Dawn. You'll see videos.
The Magnolia Tree says, it's my first big wedding to do, and I am so nervous.
Oh, girl, you got this. You can do it. It'll be wonderful. Share pictures with us. We would love to see how everything turns out.
Cadence Kellner asks, how much is this bride's bouquet?
$250.
Let's see. Ann Boykin says, I'm so excited. I'm seeing you live. Praying all will be well with your surgery and your recovery will be quick. Watching from Nashville, North Carolina.
So glad you're here, sweet friend. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the prayers. Thank you.
I think that is it.
Is that it?
It's beautiful.
Guys, thank y'all for being here. Thank you. Again, hit that like button or that heart if you have enjoyed this video. We will be back tomorrow with more flowers and show you how to design. I love you guys, and I'm so thankful for you, and we will see you all real soon. Thanks.